Talking about health and wellness, Sam, how are you?
I'm all right, actually. How about you?
I'm great, but you had a halal last night at 11 p.m.
I've made bad decisions this week.
Same.
You really been getting drinks?
I have drank every single night. I
Yeah.
have had, and then, I've been doing the morning hours, so I'm having a white wine at like noon. And then on top of that, I'm eating bacon, egg, and cheeses on my way to work at 6 a.m. It's disgusting. I'm a
I
shell of a
can't
human.
start my day with that. I need something lighter. My body is rejecting stuff. By the way, this is the Jewiest opening to a. I'm like, my body can't.
My body can't handle it.
No, I had halal last night. I'm like, maybe that's how they're trying to get us. I'm like, what the hell? But I got so drunk a few nights ago.
Yeah.
Because we have the drinking pod, and then started having tequila on that. Then I had a dinner with someone, had a couple martinis, end up at the cellar. Cut to me running the light. Liz, the manager's in the room trying to get me off stage, and I said, she's carrying my baby. That's what I said. I mean, she's just mad because I'm not going to pay child support. And the crowd's like, what the fuck is happening? But I was just bombed, and then it was just I was so drunk. I got a text from a friend of mine. She goes, "Did you and your girlfriend break up?" And I was like, no, that's how publicly drunk I am. That she's like, did you lose everything?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sad that you still have a girlfriend because there's a lot of horny single women that are listening to this right now that will want to slide in your DMs.
Hey.
But shout out to the girlfriend. We're glad you're still in the picture.
Oh, yeah.
How long have you been with your girlfriend?
It's been a minute.
It's been a minute. I like that.
Yeah.
How are you in relationships? Yeah. Is that too tough of a question after you just said you had
I get
halal
smothered
food?
easily.
Yeah.
I'm easily smothered, I think.
Easily smothered.
Yeah.
Let's break that down.
Yeah.
Like you get into a relationship and you let the gal just call the shots?
No, I feel like I feel suffocated. This is a lot.
You panic a little.
I'm a loner. I like my space.
Okay.
I'm sure you relate to that as a touring comic.
I am not a loner. I'm
Really?
an extroverted extrovert, but when I do shut down, you'll find me in like the deep depths of my basement watching The Housewives, and I won't come up for air for like 2 days.
Really?
But it wasn't until I really started wearing myself out on the road that I was like, now I need to really shut down. But no, I'm a
I
true
wear myself
extrovert.
out. I did 16 cities pretty much straight this month, and then I'm on a tour bus, so I'm like, all right, just eye on the prize.
We got to talk about this
Yeah.
because I have been pitched a tour bus a billion times.
I'm a fan of it.
You are a fan of it. I looked at the numbers and the numbers didn't make sense to me.
Have you seen what happened to airplanes in the last
that
few
is
weeks?
true. Sam.
I'm literally on a tour
Yeah.
bus, and they're like, a plane landed upside down in Toronto. I'm like, that's fucking bad.
That's fucking really bad.
That's not good. And Delta's like the airline I usually go with.
We are Delta loyal. We will
Delta.
not have any Delta slander on this podcast simply because I'm still trying to get 360. But yes, I agree. It's a shit show right now.
Yeah.
But what are you doing? So you're going out. You're doing the Errors tour.
Yeah.
And it's literally the tour that will never end. You're doing how many cities are you doing this year or shows?
A lot. I don't even know this year because we haven't even looked at the summer and fall yet because I just want to get this going. But I mean, like 45 cities in 3 months probably.
Yeah, you're grinding it out.
And it's a lot.
Yeah.
But it's, the material gets better. You figure stuff out.
Yeah.
But I like the efficiency of the bus because you wake up in the city. So I have a day in the city as opposed to like, man, we were driving the first few days. We did a Sprinter van instead of a tour bus because the bus is so damn expensive. I'm like,
expensive.
Let me try to save some money the first few days and do a Sprinter van. The first night we took 2 vans, one for me and my opener Gary Veeder, and then another van for my tour manager and James who films on the road.
Right.
And Gary and I are in the car. We leave like 20 minutes early. The guy falls asleep at the fucking wheel, and he's drifting. And we're just like, whoa, wake up! And he's just like, my bad. And we're like,
what do you mean, my bad?
I was like, are you good to drive us? And he goes, I'm good. I'm like, you're sure you're good? Because that's a big no-no to fall asleep at the wheel. And he's like, I'm totally good. I was like, okay. Gary and I are watching the movie The Substance in the back. Hated it. I'm sorry. I know women love that movie. I know it's like, I couldn't stand it, but the fact that I hated it probably saved my life because I wanted to know how it was going to end. So we kept watching, and I'm just like, what's going to happen? Like, how are they going to do? Like, I want to know how this is going to end. I want my hate to be validated. If I don't finish it, they're like, well, you didn't see the ending, so I'm like, let me finish it.
I like that you see things through for the hate.
I
respect
and
that.
And for the love, either
and
way.
For the love. Okay.
But I can't not finish movies. I feel weird not finishing them. And then
So
I know
because
some
you
people
stayed
listening
up-
are like, you didn't get it. I got it. I get the movie. I understand.
But because you stayed up to finish it, that's how you caught this guy falling asleep at the wheel.
It happened. No, it happened again because he fell asleep again. Because what happened was we were watching the movie.
And what time is this? Is this like the middle of the night?
2:30 a.m., 3 a.m. maybe.
So it would be a normal hour to fall asleep at the wheel if you're not a trained professional driver.
Yeah, you could look if you're not getting paid for this.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Fall asleep at the wheel.
Have at it, yeah. But he falls asleep so hard this time that he drifts into the other lane, and then we start feeling the bumps from the the side thing, and Gary's shaking him like, wake up, and I'm like, dude, and he's just like,
what did
sorry.
you do?
We made him pull over to a rest area. I was like, why don't we get you like a soda or a cup of coffee or something? Obviously, we're not going to ride with him anymore. We're getting picked up. By the way, the guy who left 20 minutes after us, our tour manager, they're like 25, 30 minutes ahead of us now because this guy's
Falling
such a mess.
so many times.
So he keeps falling asleep. And then he was like, hey, man, sorry I was going so slow. I'm like, no, I'm glad. That's the only thing you did right.
That's the only way we're alive right now.
Yeah, if you're going 60, we're dead.
Yeah.
So he was just like, sorry. I'm like, it's, it's not okay. You don't know what to say. You're just like, yeah, you shouldn't
You're like,
do
you almost
that.
killed us multiple times. And, but yeah, I'm glad we're sitting at this, truck stop.
At 3 a.m.
At 3 a.m. getting you a Red Bull. Like, what the fuck?
We got in so late because of that. I was so annoyed.
But okay, so you're not validating though why you like being on the tour bus, because I'll tell you this. This is my thing.
Well, that wasn't the tour bus. That was
the Sprinter. So, but it's
that's why I like the bus. Our driver's great. He's like, tour bus drivers are different. I mean, we have a great one.
Yeah.
He eats pickles all night. It keeps him awake.
Oh, yeah.
The acidity keeps him up. So
wow.
All night. So I'm like, I hit Russ and daughters. I give him the good shit. I'm like, I want you having those good pickles. I don't want you falling asleep.
Not just the Vlasic. You're like, I'm getting that good Russ and daughters.
You're having that good acidity to keep you awake.
But are you taking showers, or when you get there? Because the listeners who don't understand this, when you do the tour bus, you then still have to get a hotel room somewhere to shower and get ready.
I don't do
Or
that.
do you shower at the venues?
Okay, these are two things.
Because it's different for women. We've all put these same venues. It is not the showers. I would say 100% of the showers are never kosher enough for me to use.
That's fair.
They're pretty gnarly. Like, you have to have shower shoes, and there's a ghost in the corner jerking off. I don't like it. I'm not showering in theaters. I'm not doing it.
I want to be one of those ghosts, by the way. That seems like a good ghost life. You just get to jack off to people in the
to the Rockettes.
Yeah. I'm like, Kelly Clarkson. All right, let's fucking go. She's not showering there.
She's not.
No. Lovely woman, by the way. I don't
We
know
love
why.
her. Shout out
I
to
couldn't think
Kelly.
of a name. So then, yeah. What we do is like, I try to be healthy on the road. So we'll wake up. I'll try to play basketball at like a gym there or like a rec center. And usually,
You're a basketball freak, right? Like you love the Knicks with all your heart and soul.
I'm a psychotic Knicks
Good
fan.
for you.
Yeah.
But I like people that are passionate about a very specific
When we did
thing.
that gig at MSG for the benefit, I was so fucking nervous to bomb in front of John Starks because he was. I like had his poster on my wall as a kid. I'm like, I don't want to bomb it, and he ended up being the coolest. But yeah, no, I like to do like sometimes I'll swim laps, anything to like just get up.
Get it moving.
I'm in your city. I'm in the Atlanta Rec Center. They got a great rec center in Buckhead.
Yeah.
Really nice. But guess what? I'm in the sauna. Some guy starts fucking filming. And
what do you mean?
Hey, he's filming himself like for Instagram, I guess. But I'm in the shot. I'm like, hey man, can you not? I got like, I'm kind of almost naked here. Could you not film me? And
what was doing like, hey guys, it's Mark. Get ready with me. Let me show you what I do in a day in the life at the rec center in Atlanta.
I guess I don't know what he was saying. I was
what the fuck?
But I had a couple other people in there. They're like, yeah, stop filming.
Yeah, stop filming,
and
bro.
He was like, I'm not filming. And I was like, I see the red light. But
those are my people. Shout out to Atlanta. If you're in a sauna anytime soon, watch out for those hidden cameras.
I love Atlanta.
It's a good city, but we can talk shit. Don't worry.
Yeah, no, I do love Atlanta though. Like I mean, shit.
Where did you stay? You rolled in, because see, the thing is, a lot of people when they perform downtown, they stay downtown. I'm like, we're not a downtown city.
No, I was on the bus. I slept on the bus. We
Yeah.
rolled out after the show, and I think after Atlanta we hit. Damn, I don't even know it.
Did you go like Birmingham? Did you hit Florida?
It was Raleigh afterwards.
Raleigh, good old Raleigh. Raleigh's also a good comedy town.
Yeah, or Durham rather. Durham.
Durham. Raleigh, Durham. It's all the same shit.
I think the airport. Yeah, it was Durham, but yeah, Durham's great, man.
Durham's a great town. I mean, listen, I'm surprised because like obviously you're a New York comic, but the Southern crowds, do they really show up for you?
Yeah, they were great. I mean,
Great.
Durham's awesome. I dug a hole for myself by accidentally. They were so good, and sometimes when they're so good, I become worse. because I'm like, let me see what I can get away with.
Right, trying to push the limits.
And I forgot this long story I have, and I just was like, and I had this really good closer, and I did it, and I was like, fuck it, I'm doing the other story, and I was like, oh, this story's not as good. So I just like kind of at the end, I was like,
I gotta
killing.
go.
I was killing, and then I just like did this one extra thing. I was like,
yeah, it's time to go get back on the bus.
and then I pulled my back out, and I was like, but then Gary, who tours with me, was like, we gotta eat. Like I found this amazing restaurant in Durham, and I was like, all right, fuck it, let's go. And of course, I'm throwing down muscle relaxers, martinis, getting fucking nice and loose. And
people don't realize that that's what we live off of.
Yeah.
I have lived off a muscle relaxer, a Toradol, and a Chopin slightly dirty martini for the last 2 years.
What is a Chopin?
Chopin is just like my favorite vodka. It's a Polish potato vodka, so it just goes down extra smooth.
I don't even know that vodka.
Yeah,
but
Chopin.
Some say that a vodka martini is not a real martini.
Well, they say it's supposed to be a gin martini,
Yeah.
but as a former bartender, I could give a fuck. Because when people drink gin, they become so aggressively angry, it's like a bad whiskey drinker.
Really?
Yeah, gin drinkers are the real alcoholics. Now, I'll have a Vesper. I'll have something that's a little bit of vodka.
A Vesper? You're like fucking old school.
I'm old school. Oh,
That's
yeah.
like a prohibition type drink.
Honey, you give me
said.
a bee's knees and I will fuck you
love
up.
this. Holy shit. I like those old school. I'll make like a corpse reviver number 2.
Oh, I love a
at
corpse
home.
reviver. With the Lillet in it, come on now.
Holy shit.
Yeah, I know
Listen
my
to this.
stuff.
I know
I know
she's
my
a
stuff.
drinker, but that's fucking, that's like an old school drink.
Well, I used to bartend in New York, and I was a bartender for years, so I can spot specific drinkers a mile away. And before I went to college, my dad sat me down.
Yeah.
And he was like, Heather, promise me 2 things. You'll never drink gin, and you'll never do cocaine. And I'm like, why are both of those in the same category?
Yeah, those are not equal.
He's like, people who drink gin, they smell for 3 days. Gin turns people into like a really aggressive drinker. He's like, drink anything but gin. Gin drinkers are just very
I really
specific
like
people.
gin.
I know, and I do too, but I'll have one gin
But
cocktail.
I think I've smelled for 3 days right now, so this might be me.
Well, you smell like halal food right now.
I know. I felt it coming out of me. Halal might
nothing
be
worse.
worse. It should have been halal and cocaine.
Yeah.
That's what. I'm feeling it today.
Honey, I was going to school in Mississippi. There was no halal. Don't worry about that. It was just chicken tenders and ranch.
I don't think I've ever been to Mississippi.
You're not missing much.
Really?
Ole Miss, where I went to school, is Oxford, is one of the coolest towns. Art, culture, food, music, like it's a vibe. Blues started around the corner in the Delta
It's
from there.
Oxford, Mississippi?
Oxford, Mississippi.
That is hilarious.
And we call ourselves the Harvard of the South because our colors are like the red of Harvard and the blue of Yale. But it now we're powder blue. Nobody knows what the fuck's going on. But Oxford's cool.
I want to do like it's just places I haven't like I've never played like Little Rock. Places I've never played. I'm like, doing this. We've been everywhere.
The South is my bread and butter, and I haven't even done Little Rock. Little Rock doesn't apparently have like a good venue. But have you done Fayetteville?
No.
You need to play the Walmart Center. They have a gorgeous theater. Fayetteville, Arkansas is a cool fucking town. It reminds me a lot of like Asheville, North Carolina. It's kind of mountainous and it's a vibe, but
it's a cool city.
Mixed with the best parts of the SEC. So like
That's
Southern
weird.
hospitality.
North Carolina is weird because you got like these weird little dots, like Wilmington or Asheville, But then it's like. You got some real sticks in there too.
You got some sticks. Oh, a North Carolina rednecks like nothing you've ever seen. But you know what's funny? I was shooting this commercial 2 weeks ago. I'm 2 hours outside of Des Moines, Iowa. We stop at this like shitty little gas station, and when I tell you, I saw it was like a scene from Deliverance. I said, I don't ever want to hear.
I have that DVD on the bus.
Yeah, of course you do. You're watching that in the Substance. No wonder you're having horrible rides. What are you doing, Sam? But I said, I don't ever want to hear somebody make fun of the South and say that we're like backwards rednecks because a redneck from Iowa is the scariest thing I've ever.
I'm sure.
Encountered. It's insane.
I'm going there. I've never been to Des Moines. I'm doing that too.
Okay, I got to tell you. Well, you're on the bus, but I'll tell you where to like go to dinner.
Oh, Gary he takes it so seriously. Every meal, it's got to be a home run.
That's kind of the way
it's
I
like
am. That's the way Tina and I are. We don't fuck around. If we have a bad meal, we're like, because we're obviously counting calories to like the nth degree. So I'm like, if I have a bad shrimp cocktail, I'm gonna fuck everybody up. I need it to be good because it's the little things in life.
I get that. Yeah, we go hard, and then the movie selection on the bus, like Deliverance, is definitely that's gonna be a fun one.
We, as a Southerner, we had to watch that growing up. I'll never forget, like hearing the banjo.
Shout out to Ned Beatty for having to do that role.
Shout out.
you just had to. You know that his life was shit for like a good 5-10 years. For just having to be the guy.
The guy.
The guy who gets like
Rape.
You knew that was bad. As a kid, I knew that. I didn't know what was happening, but I'm like, I know that's not good.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't know what sexual assault was as a kid, but I was like, this is not good what's happening to this man. I shouldn't have been seeing that as a kid.
Any party in the South, somebody will always start doing the and they just think it's the funniest shit. And you're like,
it is
oh God.
It made me smile.
It's like somebody's uncle shows up and they just start playing and you know, okay, stay away from him. He's a fucking creep. Okay, but you're trying to stay healthy on the road. For me, it's impossible.
Yeah.
And good for you. You're getting up, you're moving your body, you're doing the thing.
But I get stiff. Like you wake up and you're like on the bus. I do the bunk. I make the back room an office.
Okay.
But I sleep in the bunk and I like it. I'm 6'3". I'm like the perfect height. If I was 1 inch taller, I wouldn't fit in there.
Okay.
But I'm like the perfect fit in there. I sleep very well. The bus is moving. It rocks you to bed.
Yeah.
Our bus driver's amazing. He's just like the greatest guy. He's like, his name's Jeff. He sees us watching.
Shout out to Jeff.
We were watching The Game with Michael Douglas and Sean Penn on the bus, and he goes, "You guys really like your movies?" He goes, "Maybe I'll bring my movie selection." And we're like, "All right."
You're like, "Yes, Jeff, we would love to see your movies."
Every movie's a heater in his collection. Every one. I'm like, dude, you have like great taste. He's like, "Yeah, I got good taste." We're like, "Fucking Jeff."
Yeah,
is the
what are
man."
some of Jeff's selects?
He had like Spinal Tap, High Fidelity.
Yeah.
Just like every movie was just a good movie.
If he brings out Patton, it's a wrap. You know what I mean?
It was like good Patton. They got mad at me because we watched Tar on the bus.
Really?
It's a good movie. It's not a good
intense.
bus movie.
It's not a good bus movie.
It's not a good bus movie.
Yeah.
But then this is the heat check I have on the road. I was like, I'm gonna redeem myself with a fucking movie from the 50s. I throw on The Big Heat with Glenn Ford. It's a movie from the 1950s about a guy. It's incredible. It's about a cop who's like a renegade cop whose wife gets murdered, and he's out for revenge. And it's like John Wick before John Wick.
Oh, hell yeah.
It's unhinged. It's awesome. It's this director, Fritz Lang, who like left Germany because of Hitler was basically like, I think Goebbels was like, you'll be our filmmaker for all our stuff, and he's like, I'm a Jew, and he's like, we decide who's Jewish, and he said, and it was then that I knew it was time to leave Germany.
Yeah.
So he came to America and just made amazing shit.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
So we're doing movie night. We're trying to get up and do basketball. We're on painkillers. We're drinking a martini.
A lot of painkillers.
We're going to have a nice piece of like bone marrow on toast.
You know what the spot is? We were just in Washington D.C.
I'm about to go there.
Ebbets.
What is it?
Ebbets Grill. You know
I don't
that
know.
one?
Tina, look it up.
Dude, it's your vibe.
It's my vibe?
It's such a fucking good time. Old Ebbet Grill. That's what I don't know.
I'm performing. I've got 2
Dude.
shows in DC the weekend of my birthday, so maybe we do that. Maybe we tear that up.
Oh my god, it's like a martini type spot. Like, look, I love a dive bar, but every once in a while you got to get martini drunk.
I just went to the Monkey Bar because I'm staying uptown doing the NBC thing.
I heard that place is awesome. It's right by here, right?
It's up on 60th and 54th between Madison and Park.
Yeah.
When I tell you this, Sam, we got to do a night. We got to go there.
Monkey Bar night?
We got to do a Monkey Bar night. It is such a vibe. One of the best burgers. Phenomenal martini. Like one of the best martinis I've ever had. They've got a rigatoni alla vodka that was just like perfectly like sweet, not too spicy. Everything that we got was so amazing. And I was like, these are my kind of places. If I could open a restaurant in Atlanta, I would do like classic steakhouse staples, Monkey Bar-esque, menu, and just elevate it even more. That's my vibe. Any day of the week, I want a dirty martini, a shrimp cocktail, a wedge, and a burger.
That's
my last meal
A
on
wedge
Earth.
does hit. Like there's something about a wedge.
What's your last meal on Earth? And it can be anything. You can start breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You can have a amuse-bouche.
I have such weird taste. Like it's all over the place. Like I'm obsessed with jerk chicken.
Oh yeah.
I eat so much jerk chicken. Like
I could see you with a Jamaican woman
for
sure.
I love that. I mean, just from my childhood, like my dad used to like pick us up like H&H bagels and stuff.
Just had those yesterday.
Yeah,
best. H&H is the best.
The bagels with the lox and the capers and the whole like the onion. I love that shit.
Yeah.
I mean, so that's up there. But like, yeah, it's hard to beat like a tomahawk. You get a great steak. It's hard. I'm all over the place, man. I love pizza. I can't really decide.
That's the way we
are. I love
are.
good, dude, New Haven pizza. There's something about the Connecticut pizza that, and I know like as a New Yorker, I think we're the most consistent for pizza, but then you go to New Haven.
Yeah.
That shit's like on another planet.
Are you getting the clams though? Are you doing
I don't do that.
Yeah.
But I mean, I've had it. I like it, but it's not like,
It's not what you're craving.
We're ordering for the group. We're going. We should go in there next. I think we're there. If this comes out Wednesday, I think I'm here in there tonight. So I'm gonna get Pepe's and Sally's.
Hell yeah.
I do both. I want to.
My husband does both too. He didn't fuck around. He will literally order from across the street, or they're right next door to each other, or across. Yeah, he does both. He is like.
They're so fucking good.
Now in New York, what's your favorite pizza spot?
My spot in New York is a place called Arturo's on Houston.
Okay.
And it's just coal oven pizza. It's so good. It's simple. It's delicious. I'm proud that they're not even on social media, I don't think.
See, I like that.
And so Mateo Lane is a good friend of mine.
Right.
He's my neighbor. And when we were in Chicago together once, he was like, I got us into Lou Malnati's. They're going to let us cook. I don't like deep dish pizza.
I don't either. And
it's not a thing to me.
Mel and I, they always send me pizzas backstage,
Yeah.
but they'll send them and then I won't get off stage for another like 45 minutes and then I get off stage and it's hard as a rock. So I have never been able to enjoy a Lou
That's what I
Malnati's
mean.
pizza. You have to time it perfectly or you're fucked.
But here's the trick. You got to get the tavern style in Chicago.
Okay.
You get the thin crust. It's really good. But the deep dish is like, it's a fucking pie. It's ridiculous. I don't want to.
It's like eating a quiche. Let's be honest. It's too thick. It's quiche-like.
It is a quiche.
It's a quiche. A deep dish is a quiche.
And then we do, we do the cooking back there. And look, it was a cool experience. They were so nice and it was fun. But then I got him. Somehow we got in Arturo's kitchen and they were so fucking annoyed we were there. They were like, it went from them being, they're like, ugh, they're like, what is this for, like Instagram? We're like, sorry, it's like for Mateo's YouTube, whatever.
They're like, just let us make the fucking pizzas. Leave us alone.
But no, they let us make it with them in the kitchen. And then by the end, they were like pouring us wine. They were like, your family. It's like total Italian shit. Where like at first they're like, fuck you, but by the end they're like,
we
coming
love
in.
you.
Oh, dude. And I was like, this is my spot, so I don't want to. Yeah, but it's also like they make great cocktails. They got a piano player in there singing, and Mateo.
Wait, I was not expecting piano player and cocktails. I'm thinking this is cold oven. You're going in.
It's everything.
You're getting a pie. Then this is Tina and I's kind of place.
It's it's good.
What?
Colin Quinn is like the most New York person I know.
Right.
And Colin Quinn's like. I remember we went there once. It was like me, Liz Furiotti, the manager of the Comedy Cellar, Keith Robinson, a comic, and Rachel Feinstein, another both hilarious comics. We just went there once.
Yeah.
And he goes, "You went to fucking Arturo's without me?"
Yeah.
Like that's how you know it's good. He was like mad.
He's like,
wasn't
how fucking
included.
dare you? I'm the mayor of Arturo's. That's my place.
He loves it. Yeah. So that's probably my New York spot. I think I just like that place a lot, and I order in from them a lot too.
You got to go to this place called Max's. Okay, it's
Max's.
on 134 West Broadway. It's not pizza, but I think they have the best bolognese in the city.
Really?
Their ragu is next level. Get the rigatoni alla vodka. It's not on the not alla vodka. Sorry, just get the rigatoni with the bolognese. It is the best sauce you'll ever have. Tell them I sent you. They used to be on Alphabet City. Then they went over further in Tribeca, and now they're right across from the Odeon, and it will change your life. Everything else on the menu is very simple.
New York
but
does
it's
Italian very well. Like
yeah,
I'm
we were
definitely.
at Il Buco last night. We love Il Buco.
I think I've been there.
You've been there.
Where's that again?
On Bond. And
I must have been there.
They have alimentari that's on Gray Jones, and that's
Maybe
also
I
great.
haven't.
That's all we do. The only thing we eat is Italian, and like even in Atlanta, we've got an amazing restaurant, Yeppa, that we always go to in Sorco Fresco. That's like we eat Italian 7 days a week.
We had something amazing in Atlanta. It was a Peruvian spot. I don't remember what it was called, but it was unreal. Gary was bragging about it. He picks all the spots, and he was bragging about that one.
Tina, it's a new Peruvian spot that they've DM'd me a bunch of times like you got to come in, but I heard it's amazing.
I never get DM'd. I would love to get DM'd to come into places. This is amazing.
My hobby is restaurants.
Yeah.
I literally was asking one of our other business partners. I was like, I need a hobby. I need to do something like, I don't know, crochet or needlepoint or something. Like, Heather, your hobby is restaurants.
Oh, I'll give you another great New York spot. And I don't want to blow these places up too much because I want to be able to get a table there still. But Strip House on 12th Street is like, that's
you worked for Strip House?
But Strip House, that tomahawk is like the best. It's like that's insane. And
see, Sam, this is why I knew I liked you, because the moment we met, I already knew I was gonna like you. And then we had people who don't know, we played MSG a year ago.
That was such a fun gig.
That was a fun gig. And then I told you and DeStefano, I was like, hey, I'm having like a happy hour or whatever, or a party afterwards. Y'all come, and y'all were like, really? And I was like, yeah, come on, come through. If I'm doing something, we're having an after party. That's just the way. Yeah. It's a southernness in me. I was like, we got a charcuterie, open open bar, just come. And y'all showed up, and I was so glad. I was like, see, they like the finer things in life.
I was telling my friend yesterday, I was like, yeah, we go to this bar, and Heather had like a whole spread out. And we're like, I was like, did they do this? No, she's like, no, I did this. It was like every type of food. And we were like, oh, all right. And I was like, this is like a different vibe. I like this. Yeah, that gig was so crazy. That was so stressful because
that was so stressful.
I remember I went on first, and I was like, fuck, this is like, I'm literally following Steve Sharippa, like talking about a charity.
I know.
And I was like, fucking, I got to follow Bacala talking, like, and then.
I know that whole night was very stressful too.
I took a risk on that show too, because it was, Garden of Dreams. It's like a charity gig, and we raised $2 million. I get brought up by Henrik Lundqvist and Mike Richter, who are like New York royalty, two of the best hockey goalies ever, and they bring me up after talking about like $2 million, and I was like, all right, it's like 5,600 people here. Let me open on a fucking riff, and I said, man, $2 million, and it's all going to Diddy's legal defense fund. And I was like, thank God that hit. Can you imagine the hole I would have dug for myself if that did not work?
My husband, he loved your set. He was like,
thanks.
he was texting me, he was like, Sam's fucking crushing. He's like, this is what we need to hear. And we had a bunch of friends that were professional golfers that were in the audience. So I was like, well, I'm going to do golf material for these old fucks. And then I come out and I'm the only woman on the lineup. So I was like, I know what I have to do. I know that I have to do enough tit shaking just to please them. Like, I know where I am in these lineups to like, okay, I know that the game I have to play.
That was a dude fest.
It was all dudes. But so my husband's hall pass is Henrik Lundqvist. He loves Henrik.
He's so handsome.
My husband, as you love the Knicks, we love the Rangers.
He's like intimidatingly handsome.
He's beautiful. I was in the elevator with him, and Jeff, my husband, was with me, and I was like, Jeff, don't make it fucking weird. It's Henrik. And he was in this gorgeous like Burberry suit.
He's
and I mean,
so
he
well-dressed.
Radiates just
class.
Yeah. God, he's handsome.
Yeah, the Swedish are just a very attractive people.
They really are.
I said that to my friend Will, who's Haitian, and he goes, "You're racist." I'm like, "Why?" He's like, "They're like the whitest people." I'm like, "All right, I didn't, but." I mean, they are attractive. What do you want me to say? I've been there. They're hot. Lundqvist, I did his podcast, and I left, and this is like the most Henrik Lundqvist, because he's like the most elegant man.
Yeah.
So weird to be because hockey players are this weird mix of like elegance, but also just brute force.
And they, they all have like retainers in with loose teeth. I mean, it's kind of insane. I think hockey, out of all the athletes, hockey players are the hottest to me because they all have a very high butt. They have nice butts. I know, it is very, very racist. They have high asses and nice legs. And the black hockey players are the hottest. Oh my God, are you kidding me?
Well,
they are
that one
good
dude's got the
looking.
bad rep though. I forgot his name, but. No, but Lundqvist, when I left his pod, he texted me, "You forgot my scent." He has his own fragrance, and he gives it to guests as a gift, I guess. So I forgot the Henrik Lundqvist cologne, and I was like, "All right, I got it."
That you left it behind.
I was like, "He's like, we need you smelling good at the garden," and I was like, "All right, I'll go back."
Look this up. We got to get the Henrik Lundqvist.
But it's
Henrik, if you see this, you don't understand. I will come on the podcast just so I can just hold your hand, so then I can hold my husband's hand. You don't understand how much he loves you.
But it's technically like I don't understand. I don't wear cologne, and I don't understand cologne. But apparently,
you might want to after the halal last night.
I might have to, but. Apparently, Henrik Lundqvist is technically a perfume because of how it's put together. It's a men's perfume, is what I was told.
Yeah, so it's perfume, not cologne. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. So
wait, what defines a perfume versus a cologne?
I don't understand it.
Made in Sweden. So.
Oh, it's made in Sweden. Now, I know you're probably not big on the TikToks the way I am, but there is a whole Swedish core, as they're calling it. Like the girls from Sweden, they are revolutionizing the fashion game. These girlies are so fucking gorgeous, but it's effortless. And so I tried to do like Swedish core one day, and I was like, no, it's because they all weigh 90 fucking pounds.
What does that mean, Swedish core?
They're like, just, they can wear shit differently than the way we wear it. They'll go out in a pair of flip-flops and like, an EMMYS dress, and somehow it'll look fucking cool. Right. And I tried Swedish core, and it was like, no, my beefy ass from Georgia.
I thought it was a workout for a second. Swedish core. I didn't understand. No, they're just trendy as hell.
They're just trendy, and they love to dip. Did you know this? That the girls there love to dip.
Really?
Do you zen? Do you do any of the dips?
No, my friend does it. I find it to be. I just see these old footage of baseball players with like a cheek that hangs down to here, and I'm like. It's not good for you. I've been drinking like a maniac this week. It's not healthy to zen.
No, my husband does the Zins where it's like the pure nicotine patch, and it's a pouch, so it's like contained. And he said he heard it on like Peter Attia's podcast. He's like, well, it's pure nicotine. It's not bad for you. I'm like, no, it is, Jeff. And then he got
bad, right?
Yes, and he got a kidney stone from it.
What?
Yes. And he's like, well, Peter Attia told me. I'm like, Peter Attia can be wrong. I trust the guy. He's a good doctor. He's like a big doctor on in the podcast world. Yeah, exactly, on fucking TikTok.
By the way, like, they must look at those guys like the real doctors must be like Dr. Oz.
Dr. Oz. Well, specifically Dr. Oz.
Yeah. Yeah, you're like once you're like the rock star surgeon.
Yeah, like what are we fucking doing?
You're kind of like it's like the hack doctor, right?
I think so.
You're
But
not supposed to get into being a doctor to be on TV.
No, not at all. Or to have a 4-hour podcast or to do
Yeah.
any of that shit. You should be seeing patients is what you should be doing. What?
Podcast is filmed here sometimes.
Oh, okay. Peter T is filmed here? Oh, Dr. Oz is filmed here. Get the fuck out of here. How is he in person?
Actually, like a very nice.
I'm sure he's lovely.
And you see everything he talks about, and I'm like, how nice could he actually be?
Well, I love his daughter, Daphne. She's always making delicious recipes. She has great hair, so it's really hard to judge the family.
It's just weird that you find that success and you're technically a surgeon, right? He was a surgeon, right?
I don't know his background.
So he would like show up and do like one a week because he'd be on TV. So you're like, yeah, I'll do one. You're like, yeah, I don't know if I want to be your workout surgery.
Yeah, I
you know?
don't. I absolutely don't want to be a workout surgeon. What is he going to do? Like come tweak an ankle? Like what kind of doctor was he? Just an internist, or was he like an orthopedist or something? We don't know. Great.
Cardiothoracic surgery.
Oh no, a cardiothoracic surgeon.
No, he's a real surgeon.
Oh no. I don't want him coming in and tweaking a valve. Right? Like I'm not an old Toyota. I don't want that. Okay, so when it comes to your back, are you getting stiff? Are you throwing out your back? Because when I threw out my back, I've been on a back journey, and I really hate the fact that those words are coming out of my mouth at 37 years old. But I threw out my back, and then I got really bad sciatica and like a bulging disc, and I'm like, who the fuck have I become? I have become that person that I used to make fun of. That was like, oh, it's the back. You know.
You can only be so many Jewish cliches at once.
True.
So when I'm bitching about allergies on the road, because you do wake up in a new city every day. Like we went from on the bus, we went from New Orleans where we were 75.
Yeah.
And I woke up in Memphis where we were 30, and I was like,
You're fully asthmatic.
Yeah, you're like what is this? And you don't want to be everything at once. So I don't want my back and my throat. You don't want everything to be happening at once.
But it's okay. This is a safe space because I have eczema right now and probably some sort of upper respiratory and sciatica. So just lean in.
By the way, I feel terrible throwing all Jews under the bus here because I don't think like Moses when he was crossing the desert was like my back. I think they were just like fucking
Yes,
tougher.
he absolutely
I think they were
was.
tougher. No, I think they.
That's why he had the stick, the cane.
I know, but he had the cane because it was like 40 years. That's why.
No, I feel like he was all,
tougher.
it was helping him. It was helping him stay upright.
Maybe I'll
It's
get a
okay. I'm a
cane.
quarter Jewish. You're in a safe space. Tina's Irish. Look at her. She's getting out her tissue right now. She's asthmatic. We're both also
good.
very
Everyone's
asthmatic right
falling
now.
apart. Yeah, I think on the road you want to just for the back stuff.
What was the initial injury though that got you to where? Was it basketball or was it just doing comedy? Because I hurt mine just wearing heels on stage and doing fucking comedy.
You say that but that's no joke. If you're jerking luggage around. For me, I think it was flying middle seat coach for
fuck you Southwest
at like 6 a.m. for 10 years or so, and just being like, this is not like I just fall asleep like this, and I was like, that can't be good for your back. And then what saved it, I just started kind of working out more and lifting weights, but not like I'm a crazy gym rat or something, but
At this point in the game, we just have to have core stability. I had to start doing Pilates. And my thing is I go on like 3-week benders where I'm working every single day. I'm on a shoot, so I don't have normal hours.
Yeah.
And then I have 2 weeks off. So it doesn't really benefit me because I'll do 2 weeks hard of Pilates and then I won't touch it for a month. So right now.
It benefits you, I think.
You think?
I think there's such a thing as muscle memory. I think you're building something. If you
Mine's my core. I have no core,
but
so
if
I'm
you
working
didn't
on
do
that.
anything, we got to do the Swedish core.
We got to do the Swedish core. Hell yeah.
but-
Which means just do a dip, wear some flip-flops and some Chanel and you're good to go.
But if you didn't do anything, you'd be fucked. I think about that all the time. Like if you don't have a base, you gotta do some shit. Or that's why I'm like playing ball on the road. I'm just scared for the big injury on the road. Like I saw Segura go down on that dunk, and I was like, I don't want that. I don't want him to kill it. Think about how hard it is to travel. I mean, for him, it's easier because he's flying private everywhere, but it's still bad.
And for those of you who are listening who don't understand, Segura a couple years ago was playing basketball, and when he went down, he slipped, didn't he?
He
broke his arm.
He got cocky and he tried to dunk, and
That's why I don't dunk.
He slipped, and it was bad. I mean, I saw that and I was like, "Fuck."
The wrist and hand went back in like a pterodactyl move, and it was snapped in half. It was really bad.
But I think every guy thinks about that. They're like, well, I don't want to like I do the row with Adam Sandler and we'd hoop, and Adam's like 58 and he still plays, and I'm like, that's what I want to. I want to be 58 and still able to like I'll go slowly, but I'll still be like a part of the group, you know?
You just want to be a part of the rec league.
Yeah,
I love that.
I just want to get jump shots up and play with it. But it's fun. It's good exercise too.
Sam, I've told you this, but for the listeners, they have to know. We were on a flight 2 years ago together, and you were flying to Atlanta. We were both flying to Atlanta, and then I think you were connecting to somewhere. And we get on the flight, and I knew who you were, and I was such a big fan of your comedy. And I'm like, oh my God, Sam's in front of me. And it was such a difference in your fans and my fans, which hopefully if you're listening to this podcast right now, you'll go see Sam on the road because he's phenomenal. But we're sitting down, we're both in first class, and one of my fans gets on. She's like, oh my God, Heather, I'm your biggest fan. Here is my business card. I own a hotel in Charleston. I will set you up, penthouse, whatever you want. I got you. Oh my God, I'm such a big fan. And she was just like, couldn't have been sweeter, sits down. I'm like, oh great, this is like so nice. And then a guy comes on, he freaks the fuck out. He's like, Sam, fuck yes, I fucking love you. Fucking let's go. It's like 7 a.m. in the morning on a Delta flight. And he walks by and you were so nice, you dapped him or whatever. And I was like, this is the difference in like female fans and male fans. He was like slapping you in the fucking chest, trying to like, get his dick as close to you as possible. And I'm getting like free hotel rooms.
I squeezed it, yeah. No, yeah, I'm grateful for anyone who comes out. Yeah, I definitely have a dude-heavy audience.
But this would be good because if you have a dude-heavy audience, and I have a lot of single gals that are listening to me, I think we combine the two.
We combine them, yeah.
Like I was playing at Orlando. I'm in one theater, Thea's in the next theater, and I told the girls, I was like, at your own risk, you can go over to the dark side, over to Theo's audience if you want a man with a mullet. But I'm always trying to get the girls together. I'm like, start going to more of these, other comedy shows. I mean, you have good-looking guys in your audience. We need to get the crew together.
Yeah, I've seen some out there. I'll mess around a little at the end, and I'll try to help people out. I'll do like my hour, and then I'll kind of be like, all right, someone's got a problem, I'll try to help. And
oh yeah, hell yeah.
A lot of them have like problems like some people have some dark shit, but they want to laugh at it,
What have you heard on the road? What's the darkest shit?
Oh God, I mean,
there's a lot of death around me.
You know what the craziest one was? This wasn't dark. This was crazy. A guy goes, my ex is in the crowd tonight, and I go, yeah, and he goes, I see her, and I was like, really? And she goes, she's on a date with another guy. So I go, what? Why'd you guys break up? And she's right there, and he goes, she cheated on me, and I was like, what? Why? And he goes, and she goes, he doesn't make enough money, and I was like, what is?
She said this out loud.
Yeah.
What a cunt!
And of course, everyone hates her. And I was like,
yeah.
What do you do? He goes, I'm a realtor. And I was like, and you're on a date with another guy? And she goes, yeah. And I was like, what does he do? And she goes, he's a realtor. I was like, I don't know if you're listening, dude. I would pay attention to this shit because this could be a dark turn for you as well. But can you imagine that shit? I mean, I was like, hey, I was cracking up. They were both there, but.
Fuck. Well, I mean, I have a lot of, because, my first special was about my dad dying and all this shit, but now it's kind of haunted me in a way where I'll have a lot of girls come to the meet and greets afterwards. And listen, we're all going through shit, but there's some days where it's like everyone's dying. They're like, my cat's died, my mom's died, my sister's died. And I'm like, listen, we're all dying, okay? I am here for you. You can nuzzle in the bosom, but we're all dying. I don't know what to do anymore.
God, the animal's dying, dude. I don't want to.
That's the darkest. It really is.
There's something dark about it.
Yeah, it's something dark because you picked that animal. That's the difference. You didn't pick your relatives.
My girlfriend's got a close to 19-year-old one-eyed pug who I love, and if that dog ever will die. But when that dog dies, I fucking love that dog.
I fuck with pugs. I have brachycephalic dogs. I've got Frenchies. I fuck with the smush face. And the older a pug, the wiser, the better. I fuck with an old pug.
They look funny.
Please, look, can I come to the service? I know I've never met your girlfriend. I've never met the pug, but I'd really like to come and pay my respects.
I love that dog so much.
19?
Yeah, and it was she got her from this company called Pug Nation where they rescue pugs.
Shout out to Pug Nation.
And it's these pugs that they rescue, and this dog Winnie was on the streets of LA alone with one eye, just an angry little bitch dog, and she's a grumpy
running Chinatown.
She's just
running downtown.
I love that they are Chinese.
They are. Pugs are Chinese. I have never looked at a pug and said that's not a Chinese old man. Period.
Yeah. She's awesome, man. Oh, I love animals.
I do too.
I love cats too. I used to have a cat, and it was brutal.
This is why I like you, Sam, because I was a cat person too, and I can do both.
They're loyal. I don't like people who are like, you have to pick. It's not fucking Biggie and Tupac. You can and by the way, you don't have to pick those. You don't have to pick those either.
Sam, I'll blow you right now for saying that because I'm so grateful that you said that.
Easiest blowjob ever. Just say,
I hate that. Dogs or cats. I'm like, I've had both. I have rescued probably, maybe close to 15 cats over my entire lifetime. We don't have a cat
love
now.
cats.
I love cats, but I also love my dogs.
They're loyal. Cats are very loyal. They take a long. Sometimes they'll take. My brother's got a cat. He goes. It took her
Took her 6 years to warm up.
6 years.
Yeah.
But now they're fucking. But you know what? That was earned.
That was earned.
That's trust. I kind of like that they're that. That tough.
And once you get a good cat will replace a shitty dog any day. Like a whatever dog. And dog people are like, no, it doesn't work like that. I'm like, no, it does. You have a good fucking cat.
I had a fucking guinea pig as a kid. I love all kinds of animals.
So did I. Double hamsters. But my mom killed the hamsters.
Really?
My mom's actually kind of killed every single one of our pets on accident. Our hamsters, Peaches and Stripes, the housekeeper was at our house, and so she put their cages in the garage, and it was like the hottest day of the summer, and we were at summer camp, and we came back, and my sister and I are tapping on the cages. The hamsters fried to death. I will never let her live it down. She forgot them. She moved them into the garage while the housekeeper was in the kitchen, forgot about him, didn't bring him back in, fried.
That is fucking awful.
Terrible.
That is a bad death.
It's a bad death. We had rabbits growing up.
Damn.
Rosebud and what was the other rabbit's name? And rabbits obviously fuck like rabbits, and so there was bunnies everywhere. And my mom, the bunnies got out of control. She let them loose, and the next day we were driving to school.
Your hamsters went out like a kid in a Florida Walmart parking lot.
No, literally stuck in
July.
Stuck in like a Kia Soul. Yeah.
Damn it.
And then all the rabbits were like strewn across the highway because they had jumped across the highway. So we were driving to school and there's dead rabbits everywhere.
Oh my God.
Yep.
What the fuck is that? What is wrong with your mom's a serial killer?
I know, she might be. And of course it was like an oops. They got out, she left the door open, they got out of the crate, they jumped all over the road, and
It's like Jack the Ripper shit.
Yeah.
By the way, Jack the Ripper didn't kill that many people.
How many people did he kill?
I don't know. You can look it up, but it was like not that many. Not enough to be called the Ripper, I don't think.
Didn't they just find out they found him? Didn't they find like his DNA, or who was the big serial killer?
Only 5.
5?
I mean, it's not good, but I don't know if you deserve to be called the Ripper. No. The Ripper's that's an aggressive name for.
That's a very aggressive name. What he slit their throats?
And they're all prostitutes.
Oh, he slit the throats of
prostitutes have a tough life. It's not.
Yeah,
it's not
they really
worth it.
do.
I saw an Instagram video of a woman being interviewed in Vegas, and the guy's like, "What do you do? Like, how much money do you make?" And she's like, like $1,200 a night. And he's like, are you ever scared? She's like, all the time. Like, well, do fucking something else.
Something else.
People fucking kill prostitutes. That's like every serial killer. Not every, but like a lot.
I end up on stripper TikTok a lot, and I watch them wash their money in the bathtub at night.
What does
they have
that
this whole
mean?
thing. They take all their cash, they count it on camera, they tell you like how their night went, and then they show you how they wash their money. They put it in the bathtub with some sort of like light solution, then they let it air dry, and then they count it
Why
to
do you
clean
have to
it.
wash it?
I don't know. They wash their money just because it's filthy. Yeah, because it was in their pussy. Because it was in there, it was all around. It was on the stage. I'm sure there's a lot of juices everywhere.
There's this really cool movie, Bound. Do you ever see that with Jennifer Tilly and Gina
No, but
Gershon?
I love Jennifer Tilly.
It's a really good 90s flick.
Okay.
And there's a scene where there's a murder and there's blood all over the money, and they have to wash the money, and they hang it like piece by piece, like laundry style. Like
that's what these strippers are doing.
Clothespin, yeah.
Yeah, stripper talk's really wild. And some of these girls will make $4,000 a night, and they tell you like how many VIP dances they had to do. They don't go much more into it.
For me, it's the safety. Like, yeah, it sounds like good money, but like the safety is...
But being a stripper and being a sex worker are two different things. The safety of it all...
Stripper, you're safe.
Stripper, you're safe. I mean, hopefully,
You hope they have like a Ving Rhames and strip tease watching their back,
Yeah. But no, the sex worker, did you hear that shit? And I don't even want to bring light to it because fuck it. That girl who had sex with 1,000 guys.
Yeah, what is that?
I'm so genuinely sad.
And then she said she was pregnant, but then she wasn't pregnant?
Yes, and then that was a publicity... That was a publicity stunt because she was wanting to raise money for another woman to do IVF. I was like, fuck this girl.
I don't even get how that raises money.
I don't either. And she was like,
because I'd love for her to be like Lance Armstrong, like, he cheats, but at least he did some good shit with the money.
Right.
And the Live Strong and stuff. But like, yeah, she seems just like, and by the way, these guys get like one pump. What are you doing this for?
What are we doing? And she's a very pretty girl.
She's pretty.
She's very pretty. And I mean, listen, I'm as feminist as they come, but I'm like, what are we doing here, sweetheart? There's clearly something very sad inside, and I just want to sit her down.
It's not a cool world record.
Thank you. It's not.
It's not like you made the biggest pizza or something. Right. You're just getting hammered.
You ate the most amount of tiramisu. Okay, yeah. That's a cool record to me.
To me, it's like,
how many shrimp cocktail can you take down?
But the one pump thing too is like, well, it's not even sex. You're just doing, it's like, it feels like cheating.
And they interviewed her and they said, like, what did you drink the whole time you were doing this to get this world record? And she just kept saying Pepsi Max. And I'm like, also, who the fuck drinks Pepsi Max?
Also,
I hate you even more.
This is the saddest sponsorship of all time. It's Pepsi Max.
It should have been Pedialyte.
What is Pepsi Max? But yeah, for sure.
It's does Pepsi Max have like extra caffeine in it? We're a Coca-Cola family simply because I'm from Atlanta.
Really?
Yeah, I'm a Diet Coke aficionado, but let's see what Pepsi Max is.
The only time I drink Coke is like a Jack and Coke.
Yeah.
Like I don't really like soda that much anymore. I think I drank it too much as a kid, and I just don't like it as an adult.
I don't like it as an adult either, and I gave it up for literally 10 years. When my dad died, because he loved Diet Coke, and I'm like, it might have been what killed him. So I didn't touch it, and then recently I've started picking them back up again, and it's a dangerous game to play.
Yeah.
Because if I'm on set, I can't have an iced coffee at like 2, because then I'm gonna either shit myself or have a panic attack.
Really?
Yeah. So then I just go
I
nice
do
iced coffee
all day.
You can?
All day.
It's because you're
It's awful.
New Yorker.
It's awful.
You can do coffee and halal. No wonder. Lundquist is like, come pick up the perfume.
I used to go to dinner with Dave Attell, and by dinner I mean like after the shows at like 3 a.m.
Right.
And we'd leave at like 4:30 in the morning from a diner, and he would get an iced coffee to go that was this big, and I thought it was like the craziest shit I've ever seen. But there's people who, I don't know if he's going right to bed, but there's people who like, truckers drink that shit all night.
We have a friend, Chris, who can literally have a quadruple espresso and then go right to bed. I can't do it anymore.
I know people like that too. I can drink coffee pretty late, but like at a certain point, you're like, it's more the pee issue.
Yeah.
You're just going to pee too much.
Well, and I have a tiny urethra.
Do you?
I have a tiny pee hole. Sam, this is a fun
I'm
fact.
packing heat.
When I pee, it's like a very strong stream.
Really?
It's not a trickle. Oh yeah, baby, it is strong.
I'm getting to that age now where I get jealous of not of other man's penis sizes, but their stream strength.
Yeah, their power.
I'll hear the power next to me, and it's like when you're at a carnival and you're shooting the little thing up, and I'm like, his is better. He's got a better stream.
You'd be very jealous of my stream. I got a strong stream, but but I got frequent UTIs in college. So,
really?
Yeah, not anymore though. We're good. But
UTIs. That'll
take
rough.
you down. What's the worst thing medically that's ever happened to you that you feel willing to share?
God, that's a great question. I feel ulcers really suck.
Oh fuck, like a stomach ulcer?
I've had a couple bad ulcers. Those to me, they're the worst because they just fuck up my quality of life the most.
Right.
So they're not like these horrible. I mean, they do suck because coffee and
anything acidic. You can't have pizza. You can't have anything
everything
delicious.
I like. Yeah, you're literally having like toast. It's everything sucks. So yeah, that was a bummer. Yeah, I was on the road like many years ago in Montreal with Amy Schumer, and I was opening for her in these like gorgeous arenas in Canada, and she was like, "Where were you at lunch?" And I was like, "I was at the hospital." And she's like, "You didn't tell me you were at the hospital?" I was like, "I have an ulcer," and I was like. She would take you out to the best meals, and I'd have the most boring fucking meals.
You're having like a baked potato.
Yeah, we're like Moisha's in Montreal is like amazing food, and I'm like, I'll have like chicken with no butter. Like it was just like the saddest. It just happened to me recently, and it was just like. I got a rec though for you people. If you have this, get some pre-leaf. It's on Amazon.
Okay, pre-leaf.
It helps you with acidity.
Because I used to get crippling acid reflux. I had nodules on my vocal cords, a la Ashley Simpson, because the acid used to be so bad. So I get it. We're cut from the same cloth.
What's the worst medical thing with you?
I had an ovarian torsion. So that means I had a cyst on my ovaries, and it flipped upside down, and therefore it made my entire ovary flip upside down.
Like a Delta flight in Toronto.
No, but actually it happened on an airplane.
Wow.
Literally.
Wow.
Okay, so what happened on the Delta flight to Toronto?
If you were on that other flight, maybe it would have flipped the other way.
I could have saved it.
Yeah.
I was flying to the UK and it flipped upside down and I thought it was my appendix. And we took off. We had only been in the air about like an hour and I hadn't been feeling well that whole day. But when you're a woman and your period's coming, you just usually feel like a pile of garbage. And then I went up to the flight attendant. I was like, hey, I really don't mean to cause an alarm. And of course, I'm apologizing the whole time. Like I'm mortified. But I'm like, I think there's something very medically wrong. I'm in such excruciating pain. So they called a nurse on board. And she was like, she kept saying, I think you have a baby stuck in your fallopian tube. She thought I had an ectopic pregnancy. And I'm like, ma'am, I'm telling you, I'm not pregnant. She's like, it's not your appendix. And then they had to call down to Earth, and it was on a Virgin flight, and then like call the doctors working at Virgin. They have like a secret medical kit, and they were able to give me a bunch of painkillers. And then I had to be taken off the airplane once we landed in London in an ambulance.
All I heard is there's a secret medical kit.
Yeah, exactly. That's all you need to know.
I'm kind of hyped.
Yeah.
So did you have to go? You had to go to a hospital in London?
Yeah, I had to go to the hospital in London.
Did you get crushed in fees there?
No, it was the only thing I paid was £11 for my oxy when I got out.
Whoa.
$11. But here's what sucked. Because I never went through customs, I had to go back to the airport post-hospital and then go through customs. They brought me in like a side door. I had to go with like 2 guards.
Oh my
and then I had to re-go through customs.
God.
And I hadn't slept, and I had just, had a fucking forceps up my vagina so they could figure out what was going on with my ovaries. It was a wild 24 hours.
That sounds bad.
But it's nice. If you go to the hospital, or if you get in an ambulance in the UK, they immediately give you laughing gas for pain. Damn. So I'm in the ambulance because like, you want to spot a laughing gas? I was like, fuck yeah, I do. And I had laughing gas the whole way there. I'm like, why don't they do this in America?
Wow.
Maybe they do. I haven't ever.
Oh, you know what happened to me once? I did go into anaphylactic shock
Oh,
once.
fuck. What are you allergic to?
I don't want to say because I don't want to get poisoned.
Okay.
But I'll tell you afterwards.
Yeah. Tell me after.
Yeah,
Tell me after.
But I will say it's pretty common, so it was a little scary. And,
Okay.
Yeah, my eyes. You ever see Hitch?
Yes.
That was what I look like.
We got a friend with a nut allergy, and she goes down like that. So I'm like hyper
Thank
vigilant
God
about that
it's
shit.
not nuts because I love nuts.
I love nuts.
I eat nuts all the time. It's a good.
What's your favorite nut?
I love a good Brazil nut.
See, I do too. I think it's an underrated nut.
It's a
People
big
always
one,
pass
too.
by it. Great. It's got selenium in it. It's really good for getting your omegas. I love a Brazilian nut.
But you know what? Number one might have to be the pistachio.
Yeah.
It's a crowd pleaser. I love a pistachio.
I like pistachio cream. I like crushed pistachios.
Yes.
I'm into the pistachio lattes right now at
Wow.
Starbucks. I'm really on a pistachio kick.
But I'm always happy to see a cashew.
A good cashew.
I think I just like nuts. I think almonds are great. I like
A
them.
salted pecan, though. A warm salted pecan. Tickle my taint. I love it.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Sam, where are you touring right now? What are you doing?
I'm everywhere. I'm like, damn. I mean, this comes out Wednesday. Then I'm in like I'm in Vermont on Sunday. I could have sold some tickets here. I got Vermont, but the
Vermont,
Flint
so
Theater.
that's also like what theater are you playing? Wow, I just had a
Flint.
stroke. Yeah, great theater.
Yeah, it's
but Vermont's
beautiful.
also like that's always been a tough audience for me because
I love it, but
they're not
yeah.
my people. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But then when the
There-
people show up, they're fantastic.
I'm there this week. I'm also in Buffalo. I can't wait for that. I love Buffalo. Toronto. That's the Meridian.
Toronto's the best.
On a Tuesday. Then I got Montreal on a Monday. I got some friends coming out for that.
Hell yeah.
Montreal and Toronto are just amazing. Albany. Got Grand Rapids coming up.
Love Grand Rapids.
Royal
Shout
Oak,
out.
Milwaukee, Milwaukee, a beautiful theater there too. I think it's the
You're
best.
playing everywhere.
I'm literally Columbus, Des Moines. And then I'm doing all up the West Coast, so I'm going everywhere there. I'm going to your city. So go to sammorril.com/shows or are you on Punch Up?
Let's punch up.
Oh,
no.
we'll get you on Punch Up.
Okay.
Punchup.live/Sam Morril. It's SAMMORRIL.
Period.
And then there's all these shows there. You should get. It's like a thing to get an email list.
Oh, then we need to punch it up. Let's punch it up.
It's good. I like having a list. I just blast the list.
How's Bodega Cat going?
It's great. Do you have a bottle?
I don't have
Do you
Bodega
drink
Cat.
whiskey?
I love whiskey.
I should have brought you a bottle. Shit.
Okay, well, tell everybody what Bodega Cat is.
I have a whiskey with my friend of many years, Mark Normand.
Yeah.
You've done our podcast.
Yeah.
That was a lot of fun. We
That was fun. Thank you for having me.
yeah,
You guys
we
are
had a
so
great time.
sweet. You really
Yeah,
don't have to be that kind, and you guys are just the best.
Stop it! No, you're fucking easy to hang out with.
I
It was
just
great
like to
hang.
gab, and I
Yeah.
love that we just talking about food and ailments and shit.
I know. I hope
But
I'm
you
not
don't-
boring
No,
people here.
Sam, do you understand? This is
Yeah.
what people want to hear because you're so used to going on like with all the guys. It's like bits. This is so joyful and enjoyable. You don't understand. I get the
love
best
it.
feedback when you're
love
just
it.
getting like because I don't think that people fully. I mean, my audience doesn't really probably know you that well as your audience didn't know me.
Yeah.
They're gonna be fucking obsessed with
I
you.
know, it's fun to do
You're
these
so
crossovers.
funny. You're so
Oh, thank
great.
you. You too.
You're just such a solid Jew. We love you so much.
You know, the Bodega Cat whiskey is Mark and I. We decided, we used to drink together so much when we were young comics, and
Yeah.
you know how it is when you're a young comic, and life is kind of kicking you in the ass a little bit, and
Yeah.
But you're like, I'm gonna get fucked up with my friends all the time,
Right.
And it's just like really that, one more drink, and you just keep going, and That was originally the premise of our podcast, was like one more drink. That like when you don't see each other as much, once you start growing up and becoming more busy, and you have that one night a week as opposed to the 4 nights or 5 nights.
Yeah, and you're like, we're just gonna have one more. Don't go home yet. One more.
Turns into 6 a.m.
And Bodega Cat is such a perfect name because if you're from New York, you know every good bodega has a cat.
We were thinking, like, what is something you're always happy when you see?
It's a bodega cat.
And it's a bodega cat because they come out of nowhere. They're these little creatures. You're looking at like a cereal box of Cinnamon Toast Crunch, and the cat just like puts his paw over, and you're like, oh, look at that. It's adorable. So
and they keep the rats away, so we like them. If you see a bodega that has a cat, you know it's clean.
I love seeing them. So yeah, it was really just like, it captured the spirit of New York to me. They're also nocturnal creatures, are always out at night, and that's kind of what we are as comedians.
It's so true. That's why doing this week has been so hard. Like, everyone's like, how do you love being on the morning news? I'm like, it's the fucking morning. I'm struggling. I'm sweating through my sweater by like 11 a.m. It's tough.
Oh, it's tough. Yeah, I do a lot of morning.
Wait, we got to talk about that. Yeah. Hold on. I'm not even trying to tee you up right now, but we have to talk about this. Sam, your clips going on morning news, because what people don't realize is
I'm starting to get in trouble for them, though. People are starting to get mad. I think I'm gonna have to retire soon from this. I go on morning TV and I behave very badly.
But it's so perfect. And as comics, we eat this shit up. And watching a newscaster at like the local Des Moines Channel 5 lose their shit because the ball gag thing that you did.
Okay, so here's what happens.
Holy fuck, Sam.
I think that got shadow banned because we say gimp. We say gimp sex slave in it. So what happened was we keep upping the ante, and now the clips just get buried because social media is getting more and more kind of prissy with what they can let on. But so the first one is, you're on TV live. They can't do anything. So you're like, well, let me just do the most insane thing ever. And we keep upping the ante. And the first one I did that was kind of like when you're a young comic and they force you to do these morning TV appearances and you're making no money and you're upset and you're cranky and you're on 2 hours sleep from the show the night before. And I remember I was on Pittsburgh Today Live, and they said, it's another interview where they do no preparation. They don't care who you are.
They don't even know how to say your name.
So they go like, have you always been funny? And I go, no, I wasn't. But when I was young, my uncle was really funny, and he molested me. And I caught his powers like in Spider-Man. And they were like, okay. And it was live on air, and they were so angry when I walked out. And I was like, well, I'll gladly do it if I can do that on the show. And that clip started getting shared. And then I did... I kept doing it, and it would keep getting crazier and crazier. And then Gary Veter tours with me. He's one of my best friends forever. Like Mark, we all been friends forever. And Gary was like, it'd be funny if we did like a Pulp Fiction gimp sex slave thing where you're just next to me, but you're tied up and you're my sex slave. And he's like, that's hilarious. So Gary did it. And we did it in a Delta Lounge once. That really pissed a guy in Buffalo off. And then we did it. So we just did Birmingham, and we're on live TV.
And there's no better place you could have done it than Birmingham, Alabama.
I was nervous for this one because we walked in, and every dude there was like a real man, and like in their flannel, and they all look like the Marlboro Man. And I was like, shit. Gary and I are just. So Gary's got a gimp mask, like a little ball gag in his sweatshirt, so they don't see it. And we're on air, and the woman before, she's very nice. She goes, I've seen your work, and I know you have something planned for me, but I'm ready for it. And I was like, in my head, I'm like, there's no way to be ready for what Gary's going to do.
God bless her. She tried. She was not ready.
So the segment starts, and I don't know, the last two, I've never broken on TV ever, and I broke both times in the last week because I can't keep a straight face when Gary does this. Well, I say, the rumors are true. I do have a gimp sex slave, and Gary just takes. I just turn him and I see a ball gag in his mouth, and he's like, and the woman had to get through 3 minutes of this, and then she goes to Gary after we're off air, "You're a father." And I was like, wow. Like, I guess I can still do this because I don't have kids, but Gary had 3 kids, and it's like, she was like, shame on you.
I'm gonna start saying that to people just in general, like, you're a fucking father.
It was.
You're a father.
We were dying. We left like that was insane, and then we did another one earlier in that week. It was on Zoom. Memphis, you can get away with anything.
Oh, yeah.
Memphis doesn't give a shit.
Dude, we were shot at the Memphis airport about 2 hours before my show. You can get away. Yeah.
Wait, why were you shot at?
There was a shootout at baggage claim, and we were in the line of fire and had to hit the deck. Yes, but those are my people. Shout out to Memphis. What's up? Because my house in Oxford's about 45 minutes away from Memphis, so I love Memphis.
That is so funny. Well,
but you can't get away with murder, dude, literally.
Well, yeah. So, by the way, Sunrise Cafe in Memphis.
Yeah.
Best breakfast in the country.
Yep.
I said it. It's that good. It's that fucking good. Best biscuit I've ever had. And it's like, it's legit a line, but like, oh my God, we hit there every time. But so we're on Memphis Live, but we're on the tour bus. I would never do this in studio. It's like my publicist is like, do not bring a gun in studio. I'm like, yeah, no shit. I'm not gonna bring a gun in studio. But we have these fake guns. And they're funny.
No, I'm so nervous. My asshole's clenched, Sam.
And we're on the bus, and yeah, they're not real, but I think it's funny to be like, I say to the guy, he's like, "How were your shows last night?" And I said, "I did well. Gary didn't do as well, my opener." And it cuts to Gary, and he goes, "Sometimes it doesn't go well, man." And we just keep cutting to Gary up in it, and each time he's getting more animated and crazy. And I don't normally break, but him doing that shit killed.
On
And of course,
Memphis Morning
and they
News.
kept it all. I was keeping it straight for a while, but they just wouldn't cut the segment. So I was like, I started laughing because I'm like, why are we still on TV? Because in Memphis they don't care.
Did your publicist, like, does he or she ever get really fucking pissed at you?
Yeah, she gets really mad at me. She's like, she calls me. And I'm like, you could fire me. And she's just like, nah, it's funny. It's funny.
Yeah.
But she's always like, what are you doing? Like, I have to call back to get like this client on, like, you know, I did one in Good Morning
You're like,
Durham.
fuck the 7
Well, I did Good Morning Durham, and we were on the tour bus, and it's live TV, and the lady goes, "So it looks like you're being healthy." I'm like, "We're so healthy, you know. I got these eggs here," and she's like,
Yeah.
"Oh, great." And then I pan over, and Gary's blowing a fake line.
Oh my God,
And it's on the air, and they
Sam.
just cut the segment on the spot. And the guy, I guess, called Pam, my publicist, and he goes, "Missy, you'll never be on Good Morning Durham again." And she goes, "I just got screamed at by a gay queen from Durham."
Durham.
I'm like,
I love that. Missy, you're never going to be
Missy.
on live at Durham ever again.
Well, I'm like, I got they're fun, whatever.
So you're touring everywhere. You have
Yeah.
like a billion specials. You're so fucking talented, Sam.
Thanks.
I really love and adore you. And I think you're one of the best people in the biz. And I just think
Thanks.
you're so fucking talented. So where can everybody get tickets?
SamMorril.com. I'm going everywhere. Let me pull it up.
Yeah,
real
pull
quick
it up,
just to
babe.
make sure
Read
I
it
don't
out.
forget.
Read it
But
out.
Yeah, I got
Let 'em
I got
know.
a bunch of shit. Yeah, as I said, you know,
And
Buffalo,
everybody, if you want a
Milwaukee.
great gift too, ladies who are listening, if you want a great gift, get tickets to Sam's show. Get him a bottle of Bodega Cat beforehand.
That's good.
And a hand job on the way or to the show or after.
Yeah.
Bada bing. There you go.
Jerk them off, and you
Jerk
get
'em
the
off. There's your
rye
4th of
whiskey.
July.
Yeah, Madison, Wisconsin on April 14th. That's a Monday. That's a fucking. They put me in like a 1,500 seater on a Monday. What are they doing to me? Des Moines, Iowa, St. Louis. I'm pumped for that one.
Yeah.
Kansas City, Missouri, Minneapolis, Phoenix, San Diego, Sac, SF, Portland, Seattle, Vancouver, Boise. I've never been there.
Boise's cool.
And then Denver. Yeah, we're hitting everywhere. I'm going literally everywhere. I can't wait. And SamMorril.com/shows.
If you see the tour bus, show them your titties. Do what you got to do.
The windows are tinted, so I will see your titties, and you won't see me smiling, but I'll be smiling from your titties for sure.
Sam, thank you for being here. Love
Thank
and adore
you.
you. Everybody go check out Sam. We'll see you on the next episode. As always, you can call into the hotline, 800-213-7503. I love you. I mean it. Ciao, Bella. Arrivederci. Bye.